Maduro won the elections. Narrowly, but he won nevertheless. What was the reply from the opposition, from the right-wing opposition? Well, again, that was a fraud. We won. We're absolutely sure that we won. And by the way, all kinds of audits were performed on the elections of 2013. Even more audits than the law allows. Even a full count of vote by vote of all the votes that took place. International observers were present. There is no question, no doubt that Maduro won. And still they claim that it was fraud. And what was the response? Well, again, let's take to the streets, damage, start setting things on fire, killing people. 13 people died, including 2 minors, and that was a tragedy. In between that time and now, we had an economic war where they're basically speculating with land, speculating with currency, where they're just hoarding foods. 700,000 tons of foods, for example, were found just in one depot in the Thatcher state near the border of Colombia. Just to sabotage, and to profit, and to make money too, to sell it at a higher price somewhere else, because as you may know, most of Venezuelan food is imported but is subsidized, and therefore it happens to be cheap, but therefore quite profitable for speculators. So an economic war that has been drastic, and many people are suffering in Venezuela. And what do we have now? Well, the same elements, with the same script, with the same backers in the United States who have done this in the past, not only in Venezuela, but also in Latin America. We can only look at, for example, what happened to Salvador Allende in the 1970s in Chile, what happened to Nicaragua in the 1980s, what has been going on in Cuba for the past 16 years practically. And we see the same people, the same playbook. We can even draw a parallel with the breaking of Yugoslavia in the 1990s. It was also the same economic measures were taken with the same tactics and so on. So we are in the same place. I really don't need to tell you, because I know that you know, and you are a very intelligent audience. But all that you see in the media, how they portray what's going on in Venezuela, is absolutely a misrepresentation of what's really going on. When they tell you, for example, or actually when they fail to tell you, that the 50+ people who have been arrested in Venezuela in recent days, media here will tell you that they have been arrested because they were protesting. Well, that's not the case. They were arrested because they were committing violence and offenses and crimes. Right? They set the house of the governor of Thatcher State on fire. They have been surrounding the building of VTV, the Venezuelan television station, constantly, putting the workers who were there in danger. They have been, for example, blocking streets. Some people haven't been able to go to hospitals because the streets are blocked. These type of actions are not allowed, not only in Venezuela, but these type of actions are crimes anywhere in the world. And therefore, these people need to go and face the justice system. But they do it precisely so they abroad, not even in Venezuela, but abroad, they will be seen as heroes who are just demonstrating in that socialist government that the only answer is to repress people. That's completely not the case. Is an absolute fabrication from the media and other elements that have interest in creating troubles in Venezuela. I'm not going to stand long, but basically just gave you a picture of what's going on, but also a picture of how history, particularly Venezuelan history, and particularly how Chavez has recovered that Venezuelan history to instill it in us in order to combat what we're seeing right now. So that will be my message, the message that I wanted to convey to you, and also and finally to appreciate and thank you for your support and to continue doing so, especially in these difficult times. Thank you.
He is from African Socialist International. The organization was founded in 1982, and it's got members around all